Hi there, my name is Shelley Sanders, psychic medium and business intuitive, and welcome to Spiritual Sunday. So I am so excited that you are here today. And before we get started, do me a favor, like the page so you'll know when I'm going live, and then also share so we can get as many people onto the call as possible. So today our topic is the number one thing that will stop your development. So I am so excited to talk about this because it's so easy. We get stopped in our tracks all the time, right? So as things come up in your life, it might cause you to pause. You might feel some insecurity that might have you to actually stop. And so there's so many things that we're up against. And a lot of times we look at the worst case scenario instead of the best case scenario. And even when things are going well, you might say to yourself that you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. So today I want to talk to you on what stops your development. And then I also want to talk to you about, the benefits of development. So hello, Michelle. I see that you've joined us today. Thank you so much for joining us live. It's so great to see you, and happy Sunday. So, as we have this conversation, the number one thing that will actually stop your development is you. You are the one that will actually stop your development. Now, hey, Kathy, it's so good to see you. Welcome. I see you were able to join us on Facebook. I'm so glad that it worked out for you. So as we talk about how you can stop your development, let's talk about ways that it could actually show up for you. So it could come up for you as in self-worth. You may feel like, what will people think if they know that I'm developing either my psychic or my mediumship senses? Because a lot of times it's all about acceptance, is what other people think. We really want to fit in. And as this hits us, it really hits in your first chakra. So this is your root chakra. This is all about protection. It's about being together. It's about gathering. It's about food, clothing, survival. And so way back when, it was really important that we all gather together, because if you don't come together, then that meant that you were out by yourself trying to source for food. You were out by yourself trying to make sure you're protected. You were out by yourself trying to make sure that you have warmth. So that's why it's so important, and that's why we're so driven by being accepted. So at any time, if you're the special, bright, shining star, and you don't relate to everyone else, that can leave you as the odd person out, and it can make you feel a bit insecure, and it can bring up some fear of not being accepted. And so the thing is, it's all about your personal truth. And what I found is, if you don't follow your personal truth, it will slowly eat away at you. So if you're living your life to please others, and I know all about this because I was a big people pleaser, really caring about what other people think, making sure that I had a certain look, that I'm always accepted. But here's the thing is that, you just can't always be accepted. At some point, you're going to disappoint people, and they're going to be upset with you. So it's about taking ownership of what you want in your life. And it's also about, really drawing the line in the sand and standing your ground. Now, often this comes with some seasoning, so it'll come with some age as you start to realize this. If you're in your 20s or 30s, you may be really on that acceptance part right now. But once you hit your 40s, 50s, and 60s, you start looking at life a little bit differently, because, as you go through life, you realize that you have to do what's best for you. Another thing that can actually stop your development is religion. Like, how did you grow up in your household? So for me, we came up Baptist, and it was all about what the Bible said. And, as far as my family was concerned, that mediumship was seen as a negative thing, and they weren't accepting of that. So I really had to work through that and find that fine balance of, the mediumship and the psychic is actually a blessing from spirit, but then my family feels this way because of what was written. And it's like, how do I find that delicate balance so that I could satisfy myself and not live for other people? So definitely, can you ladies relate? I see you. Hello, Rhonda. Welcome. So can you ladies relate as to how things can stop you or how your development can stop you? So I know that some of you that are currently with us, like you're professional in acting, current mediums, and so you may not be experiencing that now, but at one point, there was a time where you would have had to come out of the spiritual closet. So let's talk about that. Spiritual closet, big deal, right? Because again, it's all about that acceptance, and it's like, oh my goodness, what will my family think? What will my friends think? Another thing is your job. What will my boss think? What will my co-workers think? And so as you start to pile all that on yourself, that bright, shiny you starts to get a bit dull, and you start turning away from your own true essence and your true self, and then you're not showing up in life that's really beneficial and happy for you. And then you can start to notice that you start to get, maybe a little resentful, a little angry, because you're more existing instead of living. Yes, I see, Rhonda, you said, yes, I'm still in the spiritual closet. I'm going to tell you, it is really tough. It is a tough one to come out. Michelle says it's scary, but being yourself is worth it. So true. So, Rhonda, when I came out of the spiritual closet, so at one point, it happened. So I was in a situation where I was starting to come out. I was ready to put up a website. I was posting on Facebook. And I just wanted to make sure that my parents' friends didn't see it and report back to them before I was able to tell them. So it was something where I had to come clean, and it was just like ripping off the Band-Aid. One thing that might help you, Rhonda, is, and this is the exercise that I love doing for myself, is I like to project myself in the future. And so I like to imagine that, I've lived out my life and I'm like on my deathbed, maybe I'm in my 80s or my 90s, and I take a look back. Is there anything that I did not do that I now regret? Am I going to say, man, I wish I would have really came out of the spiritual closet? What would my life would have been like if I had the courage to do it? If I didn't care about what other people think? So you have to begin to take ownership of your life, because if you let other people drive you, they're going to dictate your happiness, and they're going to dictate when you're upset. So when you start to take ownership of your own life, then you get to drive the car and you get to say what you want, because you don't know what your path has and what's in front of you until you actually go forward. Now, again, easier said than done, but I got to tell you, very first time that I ever did platform mediumship, standing up in front of a group of people that I didn't know, I was afraid. I was sitting in my chair. I heard my name announced. My mind was saying, well, what if you just sat here? What would happen? You don't have to go up there. But I took the deep breath and I stood up and I walked out in front of the audience and I did it. And then there was just, after it was done, there was this rush. It was like very euphoric. It was like, oh my gosh, why was I holding myself back for so long? That felt so good. It was like really intoxicating, and I just wanted to keep going. And then as I trained with other mediums, we were all kind of sharing and telling the same story, like, why have I been holding myself back? This feels so good. And then the more that you do it, you feel relaxed. Your confidence starts to slowly build. And then your spirit team will help guide you to where it is that you're going to go. But you don't get that opportunity until you take the step. So, I hope that that helps. And I know that it is tough. So, Rhonda, you said, yep, it's getting there. I'm tired of worrying about what others may think. So at one point you have to say, because you're the only one responsible for your life. So you can't blame your parents. You can't blame your siblings. You can't blame your friends. It really does. It comes back to you. It really does. And then spirit is just waiting for you to make that move. And then once you do, you'll find that doors are opening. So let me just ask you a question, because intuitively I just got something around that. Are you currently finding that doors are closed for you, or that you are not moving as quickly as you'd like to, or you're not as far ahead that you would like to be? Because I'm kind of, I feel like there's some doors that are closed for you, and it's because the energy stopped because you haven't made a move yet. So if that makes sense to you, definitely type in the comments and let me know. So how are you guys doing so far? Like, what I'm sharing, is that making sense to you? Can you relate as far as holding back? Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Rhonda, you said yes. Okay. The reason why I wanted to ask you that is because psychically I was just getting some information about you. So if you're frustrated and you can't figure out why, that's why. It's the whole not coming out. Spirit is waiting for you to make a move. So the way that manifestation works, and I feel like it could also be tied with your money too. Not that I'm getting on here and doing a reading for you, but I just feel like this information is coming up for you, and I feel like there's a clog there, and there's a lot of stopping. And so if you find that your money has slowed or your opportunities have slowed, it's a dance. It's like you have to take a move, and then Spirit takes a move, and then it's like a dance together, but you can't do the dance if you won't move. And so that's what's really coming up for you. Michelle says, yes, thanks for sharing. Absolutely. Thank you for responding, Michelle. So here's the thing. So some of the benefits of developing. Now, you can develop without being a professional. You can develop just personally for yourself in order to get guidance. So the great news is that we're all born with intuition. You have it when you're a baby, but over time you were taught away from your natural guidance system, taught away from trusting yourself. So you can actually develop for yourself in order to get guidance from your spirit team so that you're on the right path and that your mindset doesn't take you off course. And so it's really great. Like I've shared before, that my spirit team came in 5 months ahead of time to let me know that my corporate job was leaving well before that it left. And they were giving me things to do in between in order to prepare for that. So you can absolutely have that for yourself. Also with money, if you're struggling with money, you can have your spirit team to help you to guide you of where is it stopping so that you don't become afraid. Because when you're in your head, the first thing that happens if something shifts or changes, the first thing that comes up is fear. So your spirit team just kind of helps to calm you down. So it doesn't mean that you won't have downs in life. Life is all about ups and downs. But the downs don't have to be as steep, and you don't have to freak out and worry or kind of wring your hands because you're so stressed out. It's like, okay, this is a bump, which is natural, and they're going to get me through to the other side. Okay, so I hope that helps. Definitely. So how are you ladies doing so far? Like, is this starting to make sense for you? Can you relate to what I'm sharing? Because I'm going to tell you, you really do want the resistance. Hey, Shanice, it's good to see you. You do want the resistance to come up, because when the resistance come up, it lets you know that you're starting to expand and grow. So it means that you're starting to step out of your comfort zone. Now, you just don't want that resistance to stop you completely. So whenever I feel that resistance comes up, it's like, okay, I know that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. And then whenever you get to the other side of it, you feel so much better. Yes, Shanice, you said yes, that happens as well. Definitely. So, and just allow that your development to have fun with it. Play with it, have fun, because this is what I find is as you play, energies, they move so much easier. It's like when you're stressed and like this, that things stop. But when you relax, it flows, and it's so much easier. One more thing that actually stops you is perfection. Wanting it right, wanting it perfect, not wanting to do anything unless you have everything complete and everything works out just right. So here's the thing. It's all about being in the flow. Sometimes things will work and sometimes they don't. But you just kind of have to just pick up and just keep moving with it. Sometimes the perfection turns into analysis paralysis, where you just analyze every little thing and you don't get anything out there. So the thing is people are not looking for you to be perfect. They're looking for you to be human. And they can relate to you more when you're human. They can relate to you more when you stumble on your words, when when your technology isn't quite working, when things fall apart. Because if things fall apart for you, they can relate to you because things also fall apart for them. And so now there's this connection that comes in. It's like, oh, she's not perfect. She's human. She can relate to me. You know, just like, okay, so yes. So Rhonda, you said my biggest struggle. Okay, keep going and let me know what your biggest struggle is, because I would like to see that. So, you know, like what I shared earlier about coming out of the spiritual closet, that is very scary. When I first started to put my website together, it took me, I had a 21-day break. I was frozen for 21 days before I could hit the active button. That's how much of my stuff was coming up. That's how much I had to work through. So the me that you see now is the person that's been doing some consistent inner work. So as things come up, I work through it. But it wasn't always like that. Now things won't hold me up. I might get held up a day or two, but I won't get held up 21 days. So see, does that make sense? Okay, so Michelle says that I laugh at myself constantly due to mistakes. But you know what? It's good because we can all relate to it and we can all sigh. And it's like, oh my goodness, I can relate to Michelle because she's not like perfect, polished, and 100% together. It's like, so now when I make a mistake, it's like, oh, you don't have to fall out. You don't have to collapse. Everything isn't horrible. It's like you can pick yourself up and you can keep moving. Definitely. Oh, okay. So Shanice says, OMG, yes, people will judge you. Well, you know what, Shanice? I'm going to have to break the news to you. People will judge you regardless. They judge you for waking up in the morning. They will judge what you're wearing, how you have your hair. It doesn't matter. Because if you're worried about people judging you, you're going to live a very small life as far as you won't be able to stretch out and grow. And you got to think about babies when they first started to walk. I mean, they can't worry about, you know, being judged for each time that they fall down. It's like, I got to get up. I got to get moving. This crawling thing is no longer working. It's too slow. I need to be able to walk. And then after walking, it's like, okay, well, how do I run? And then as they get older and they have balance, it turns into skipping and having a lot of fun. So your freedom is in moving, and your freedom is letting go of what other people think. Yep, so Shanice says, I'm slowly coming out of the spiritual closet. Congratulations. Now here's what I got to say about this, ladies coming out of the closet. There are going to be some people that you lose and some people that you keep. And just know that the people that you lose, they weren't meant to walk that journey with you. Because if you have to pretend to be someone else in order to make people comfortable, then they're not really your people. Same thing with dating, being in a relationship. I've been in a relationship with men that weren't not okay with me being a medium. So we're not together now. So I have to, you know, set those boundaries and make sure that the next person that I'm with, he has to be okay with it, because I can't like stop, because that's who I am, and I can't, you know, contort myself into a pretzel in order to satisfy him, because sometimes people come and go. So I have to stand up for my self-worth and hold my boundaries, and then the right person will come. So as far as me coming out of the closet for my family, they were really weird about it at the beginning. To be honest, they thought I was in a cult. But over time, you know, some of them had started coming around and starting being more accepting. Now, the ones that are really religious, we don't talk about it, and that's fine, because when we get together, we get together. And then I have my spiritual friends and community to talk about my spiritual development, and when I'm with family, we talk about family stuff. So as far as you coming out of the closet, that could be the compromise. It's like, well, I'm out. We don't have to talk about this if it makes you uncomfortable, and just have like a group of friends or a community that are accepting where you can talk about it. So then that way you can at least balance it out. So let me just want to check in to see what else is going on with you guys. Just to let you know, speaking of spiritual development, this Wednesday, I'm so excited. So we're going to start class, third eye-opening 4-week class. We have a great group that's come together so far. I still have spaces available, so just want to let you know about that. And it's all about your psychic development. I already have a couple of video trainings within the Facebook group on how to read oracle cards. and we're showing you how to do that without using the book. And so we're going to have a lot of fun because you're going to learn how to do psychic readings. We're going to show you how to do it with using cards. We're going to show you how to do readings using your aura. We're going to show you how to do readings by using color. We're going to play some fun games together, and you're going to get to practice with one another and then ask questions. So we're going to have a great time. I'm so looking forward to that. And if you are interested in that or want to know more, the URL to join us is thirdeyeclass.eventbrite.com. Okay, so let's see. Shanice says, being a pastor that loves burning candles, working with crystals, I don't think people will want me anymore. Let's see, Whitehall, that's fine. Well, you know what? The thing is that like I shared earlier, you may have missed what I shared earlier, but I shared that I like to do this exercise where I kind of project myself into the future and then look back on my life and say, you know, did I do everything that I wanted to do? Do I have any regrets? You know, do I have any regrets because I did not, you know, do something? So for me, if I cared about what people thought, and if I didn't come out of the spiritual closet, you know, do I have any regrets that I didn't do that? So I always like to do that look back just to make sure that I keep moving forward. So the great thing about when you do this exercise, it allowed me to come out of the closet. It allowed me to do readings privately. It allowed me to do readings publicly, and now I'm teaching classes. So these are all the doors that have been opening because I kept saying yes to myself and taking a step forward and not caring what people think. Because one more thing that I'm going to share with you is I find that people will do what they want in their life, and then they will try to tell you what to do with your life. But if you think about it, you can't tell them what to do, but they can tell you how to live and what to do. So that's why it's very important to take ownership for yourself, because only you can make you happy. So I hope that that helps. So I just want to check in to see if there's anything else before I wrap up. I'm just so excited to have you with me live here on Facebook, and just want to know what else is happening. And thank you for sharing about, you know, feeling uncomfortable about coming out of the spiritual closet. I definitely get that, and feeling uncomfortable about what people think. It totally makes sense. Yeah, Shanice says, whoa, so true. Yeah, I mean, we all know people like that. We all have people like that in our family that will tell us and friends what to do, but you can't tell them what to do. Yes, you're still welcome. So again, I just want to invite you out and just let you know that Third Eye Opening 4-week class is starting this Wednesday. So if you're interested, definitely come and join us. Hey, Deb, welcome. I see you enjoying us live here on Instagram. We're just starting to wrap up right now. So definitely listen to the recording and really get the full information, because we had some great conversation and great comments. And I see Michelle says, thank you, you're welcome. So again, just to find out more, the URL is thirdeyeclass.eventbrite.com. And I'm so excited to be with you. And again, just stepping out of your comfort zone. You never know what you can do. Right now, because I'm out of my comfort zone, I've been doing Facebook Live and Instagram Live at the same time. So you never know what's possible. All you have to do is just take that step forward. So I had a great time connecting with you ladies today. Take care and have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.